day for the Spartans as you guys go up against Apsigami, and you run into a pretty good pitcher there in Matt Ardente. Final score, Braves 8, Holy Spirit 3. Let's talk about that game a little bit to start. High school baseball, you know as well as anyone, when you run into another team's number one, it can be a long day. But even in the loss, what did you like that you saw from your kids yesterday?
Well, we fought, you face a kid like Ardente, he's a stud. Going up to Seton Hall, he's going to do real well up there. But we didn't back down from him. Our guys battled. We were getting our swings, and it was a tough battle. But he shut us down yesterday. But we'll be better for it in the long run.
It's been a tough spring weather-wise, and I know that can really throw off the rhythm of a team. You think you're going to play one day, you don't. You have to practice. Maybe it's inside. I mean, everyone has to deal with the same weather, but how much of a challenge is it, especially this spring? It seems like it's rainy every April here in South Jersey, but this year maybe more than some recent years.
Sure, it's tough to get in a rhythm. Speaking personally, we have a young team, and the more baseball they play on the field, the better off we're going to be. But when we get stuck every other day in a gym, there's certain things that we're trying to teach them. We're trying to teach them, fundamentals and there's some advanced stuff. But when you're inside in the gym, you have to go about it a little gingerly, and we just got to take advantage of our opportunities. And when we can get outside, like today, we had the mainland today, and it's a gorgeous day. I think the kids will respond.
That's what's fun about baseball, and I think you tweeted something along these lines. The chance to get a chance to play the next day after a loss, and mainland's a big game for Holy Spirit. Obviously, another rivalry game, and that is what is unique about the sport. Other sports, you usually have to wait a few days. Baseball, you can get right back after it. How excited are you and your kids to go up against a team like the Mustangs? I mean, one of those ultimate tests is this is a reigning state champion.
Absolutely, and we're in a unique spot because we played a state champion last Saturday in Hudson Catholic. We took a bus ride up to Jersey City, and we're able to get a win up there. So I think the fact that we're playing a state champion isn't going to discourage us. We're going to come out and we know we're good baseball players. We know we're having a slow start, but we're going to come around, and our kids have confidence. Our coaches have confidence in our kids, and we're going to come out today ready to play like we do every day.
That one a road game for Holy Spirit on the road at Mainland, 12:30 start. Steve, you're number 2 in the head coaching spot there with the Spartans. What's changed for you from year 1 to year 2? Obviously, that first year stepping in to the head coaching role, it's an adjustment, but do things change from year 1 to year 2?
Absolutely. Last year was a bit of a whirlwind. You think you're prepared, but there's a lot of things that come up that you weren't expecting. This year's been a little easier from the kind of the administration part of it, but we're a completely different team. We graduated a lot of seniors that contributed last year, especially in our pitching staff. So it's been a little bit of a challenge to deal with a whole pitching staff, basically of sophomores. We have some seniors who have stepped up and contributed on the mound, but we're running out a bunch of sophomores, some freshmen. So there's growing pains with that, and it's an adjustment. Myself and my coaches, we talk every day, and there's a lot more. I don't want to say frustration because it doesn't sound like the right word, but there's a lot more discussion and a lot more, strategy that goes into just figuring out the best lineup to put out there every day and the best way to attack these teams.
Catching up right now with Holy Spirit Spartans head baseball coach Steve Normane. The Spartans off to a little bit of a rough start, and Steve, a program like Holy Spirit, you're used to seeing the Spartans among the upper echelon teams in the Cape Atlantic League, and maybe the casual high school baseball fan would look at your record 1-6 or whatever it is and say, hey, what's going on with Holy Spirit? But is there a pressure to win immediately, or do people understand right now with Holy Spirit, like you said, young team, you have to develop some guys, and hey, it just takes some time?
Sure. I mean, it'd be a lot better if we were winning a little bit more, but yeah, that's the attitude, and I think the outlook is we're starting. I think yesterday we started 4 or 5 sophomores and a freshman, on a field against a Division I pitcher. So yeah, we're going to struggle, but I don't think it's going to be we'll be good in 2 years. We want to be good, this week, today, next week. We want to start on that winning path and start a good progression towards the state tournament and hopefully make some noise there. The future looks bright for sure. This young core we have is if they mature the way we think they're going to, the next couple of years are going to be a lot of fun.
Again, the Spartans very young this year, but you did mention, Steve, you have a handful of upperclassmen that you're really counting on this year. Who are some of those guys? Throw some names out at us, guys that you're really counting on to lead the way and sort of teach those younger guys how it's played at the varsity level.
And absolutely, and I don't want to discount our older guys because they have, we have some guys with experience from last year. Anthony Baselli is our team leader. Both in the field and at the plate. His brother Robert was an all-conference catcher last year, and we lost him to graduation. But Anthony stepped up. He's swinging the bat. He's playing. He moved from shortstop to center field this year. He's been playing a great outfield for us. Another one of our guys, AJ Russo, who's back playing second base this year, also swinging it well and helping out on the mound, which was a role we weren't really expecting for him. But that's what I like about the seniors. You throw them out in a pressure situation, and they're not going to shy away from it. Another guy, Matt Marzak, who saw time last year spelling Rob Baselli at catcher. He's been catching for us and playing first base. Another move, another out of position move that we put there, and he's responded well as well. And Chris Lefferts, who's our slugger last year, who's back in that 4-hole and swinging the bat pretty well and coming up with some big RBIs for us. So those seniors are leading this younger group, and we look for them to continue to because while the future is bright, we still want to win this year for those guys.
South Jersey Sports Report checking in right now with Holy Spirit head baseball coach Steve Normane. Coach, you played some big-time college baseball at Rutgers, and the goal for really any high school baseball player these days, other than to be drafted, is to play some big-time Division I ball. Having went through that experience, the kids see that it can be done. You're a younger coach on the scene in South Jersey. How much does that experience at a big-time college at the next level sort of help in your teaching of these kids at the high school level?
It's an advantage for me. I think the kids get a little wide-eyed when I tell them I played against Justin Verlander, Ryan Braun, those guys when they were in college. So it lends some credibility to what we do. My assistant coach Jason Downey, he went to Rutgers after I did. So we run a Rutgers practice for our practices. The program we run is a college program, and it's a high-level one at that. Our coach, Fred Hill, he's a legend in the college ranks, and everything we do is what he taught us. So, it's going to take time for the game to slow down for these guys and for our system to be implemented. But when it does, man, watch out because the way we're teaching it, the kids are responding, and they respond to us. I think they see we have fun. Our bunch of our coaches still play over the summer. We play in the county league, and the kids get to see us. They know we have a passion for the game and the enthusiasm, and I just think there's a certain level of response to that, and it lends a lot of credibility to what we do.
You threw out some pretty impressive names there in terms of guys you went up against in college, and I understand you were fairly successful against Justin Verlander.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but yeah, it was fun facing a guy that went on to be MVP and Cy Young.
Let's talk about the state of baseball in South Jersey, maybe Cape Atlantic League specifically, Steve. And I've talked about this with other coaches, and, it just seems like for years there, and we're going back maybe a few years now, but the cow was always knocked. Hey, teams aren't good from down there. Then all of a sudden, Mike Trout emerges. Yes, maybe a diamond in the rough, but it sort of, elevated the showcase, if you will, of the Cape Atlantic League. Obviously, last year, Mainland, Buna winning state championships, St. Augustine winning the Diamond Classic. You've been around baseball for a long time, Cape Atlantic League for a few years now. What is the level of play right now in the Cape Atlantic League and in South Jersey compared to maybe North Jersey or other parts of the region?
Well, I'll be honest, Mike. I was one of those North Jersey guys who really didn't know about the baseball down here. I grew up in Essex County and played my high school ball there. And I thought, those teams from the South. You mean Gloucester Catholic, Bishop Eustace? That's what we knew of South Jersey. And then when I got to Rutgers, we had some guys from down here, some mainland guys, and et cetera. And then moving down here after Rutgers, all of a sudden I start to see this Cape Atlantic League, and it's the same if not better baseball as what's played up north. There's no knocking it. I know it has that rep, but like you said, with Trout and with St. Augustine and Mainland winning state championship, Buna, what they've done with their program, it absolutely is. it absolutely is the same level baseball down here. It just doesn't get the coverage as far as the state papers that it should. I'm impressed that, day by day we go out and we play. Now we're playing an 18-game schedule in the Cape Atlantic League, and you're going against kids like Geraci and Jobinick from mainland. The prep guys who seem to reload every year. With the kid we saw, Vistoria, is going to be an absolute stud. Ardente yesterday. You got Mooney and Altieri at Ocean City. The EHT guys, the Vineland guy. Every game you're playing a top pitcher, some top players. It's a grind. I'd put this conference up against any conference in the state.
Steve, we know it's a game day for you. We'll get you out of here with one last question. Obviously a rough start for the Spartans. Again, very young, but what are some realistic goals? What are you hoping to see from your team moving through the rest of the regular season here?
Well, our goals haven't changed. We want to win a state championship. Sitting here at 1-6, some people might laugh at that, but our goal, what our weekly in and out schedule is a great preparation for what we're going to possibly face come state tournament time. So we're going to keep battling. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to play our conference schedule day in, day out, and I have full confidence in this team that we'll be ready come state tournament time to make a run.
Should be a great game this afternoon. Again, the Spartans on the road at Mainland, 12:30 start. Obviously a rivalry game and a great day finally to play some baseball out there. Steve Normane, head coach of the Holy Spirit Spartans. Thanks for taking the time. Good luck to you and your kids today and the rest of the season.
Anytime, Mike. I appreciate it.
All right, again, Steve Normane, head coach of the Holy Spirit Spartans. And